Good afternoon, YouTube. Arizona RE here. I'm out on another maintenance ride on my Mrs. bike. Mrs.'s mama's bike. Yeah, there you go. Taking it out for another little run. It's been a while since she's been started up and run. So I figured I'd come on and chat at you guys while I'm giving the little CB 250 a run around the block. It's funny, however small the infield feels after riding the CTX, this thing feels insanely smaller. Oh my goodness. But that's alright. I mean, it's almost like riding a skateboard or something. It's like it's just attached to the bottom of you. There's no actual bike there. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway, got home from work a little bit early, so I decided to go out and give this thing a little run. Because I think Mama is going to take it for a ride this weekend, so I wanted to make sure that the battery had been topped up and the fuel's good and air pressure in the tires and all that good stuff. But you guys know all that. It's funny, the house right there, it's kind of a unique looking house. The whole property is like a mission style. But it reminds me of a place where my grandmother used to work on my mother's side. And she was a good lady. Yeah, I grew up in pretty crappy conditions, but my grandmother was one of the few nice people in my life. And I always think back on that. It seems like just yesterday, man. I can remember being in preschool, and you know, back then preschool was like only half a day, or it wasn't preschool, it was kindergarten. Yeah, it was kindergarten, and back then kindergarten was only like half a day long, so you know, you had to be somewhere the other half of that day. It's not like it is now where everybody goes in for pre-K and everything else. So back then, I would stay with my grandmother during the early part of the day, and then in the afternoon I would go to school. But I remember, it's funny, as old as I am, I remember being at her house, sitting in the living room while she was watching The Price is Right. She was already retired at this point. And she'd be watching The Price is Right, and I would be eating SpaghettiOs at the coffee table. And it was a big deal for me, because at my house we didn't really have a TV. So it was a big deal, much less a color one, right? So we'd be sitting there watching TV, and I remember that. I also remember, for some reason, it was just like yesterday. I can almost remember exactly what it was. You know, when you were a kid and you used to color, and there were ways to enhance your coloring. I don't know, maybe I was just a geek and did this. But if I was going to color something and I wasn't going to color outside the lines, I would darken the lines. I would go heavier and outline what it was that I was coloring. So if a certain area, say a wall, was going to be blue, I would press the crayon really hard and outline that line in blue, and then lightly shade it in. And I remember being real picky about it. I try to get all the shading and coloring to go the same direction. I wouldn't just ball the colors in there. And I remember my grandmother remembered how finicky I was about this. And she used to watch me when I'd color. And if I filled up loads of coloring books when I was a kid. And she taught me a trick. And the trick was to do this. After you had colored your picture, you could get a paper towel and just wipe back and forth real vigorously on the paper after you colored it, and it would make it shiny. So it was like you were polishing the wax from the crayons on the paper. And I don't know if you guys have ever done that or ever seen it done, and it's probably nothing special to anybody, but it was special to me. It was one of those things I remember my grandma showing me when I was just a tiny little kid. And So, you know, those are kind of memories and stuff that come flooding back when you see certain things. And, you know, here I am in my mid-40s, and I can remember being pre-K, sitting in, or being kindergarten, but sitting in my grandma's house in the mornings before I went to school in the afternoons. How trippy is that? And just seeing one old house can bring back all those memories. And I mean, man, I can almost smell her house. Not that it was a great thing, mind you, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird, I'm just kind of babbling on and running this thing in, keeping it in too high of a gear on purpose, just to make sure that the exhaust and the oil and everything heats up real good. You know, I'm pretty sure with the way the microphone is in this helmet that you guys probably can't even really hear me right now. So that's kind of funny. Can you guys hear that at all? Sounds like somebody revving a vacuum cleaner. I'm sure I look like a complete joke on this bike. I'm a big dude to be on this old CB 250. So anyway, my trip's almost over. I just took this thing out and ran it a couple miles just to get it warmed up. Appreciate you guys watching and listening. And oh yeah, you know what, I wanted to say something else too. Gosh, it's a good thing I'm not home yet. But I've taken to a new MotoVlogger. I mean, we all sort of subscribe to new people and discover new people on the internet all the time, but I just bumped into her vlog the other day, and it's Maz Jordy Vlogger, and it's another Jordy up there near Raw Bash, but Maz Jordy Vlogger, and man, she is funny. I mean to tell you, she has this infectious laugh. As soon as she laughs the first time, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm hooked already. So if you haven't already, give her a look, give her channel a look, because apparently her channel got jammed up, hacked or something like that, and she ended up having to ditch it and start a new channel. So she's missing some subs and she's missing some of her older videos. But if you guys go there now, she has more than a dozen videos up, and man, she is hilarious. Like I said, the first time you hear her laugh, you're going to be like, that's it, I'm subbing. I guarantee it, man. She is funny. So give her a look, and as always, thank you guys for subscribing and watching and tolerating my madness. I appreciate it. It's always encouraging to keep going, which is good for me because this is sort of my download therapy. So thank you all much. Bye-bye. I'm in someone's backyard here.